So, as we just talked about, the process we recommend is starting with self awareness of your interests and your own personality, finding positions that align with that, conducting informational interviews, and testing it out with experiential learning. Next, we're going to focus on how do you build that self awareness and how do you find some of those positions. Well, what do you like doing? What do you find most rewarding in your current work? One of the easiest ways to figure this out is by keeping a journal. We like to call it a career interest lab notebook. The same way that you document your research techniques, findings, approaches, do the same thing with your career interests. Every day that you come home feeling really energized, make a note. What happened? Similarly, every day you come home feeling very drained, what happened? Keep record of this, and after a couple weeks, a couple months, reflect on it and identify patterns. Every day I felt really energized, I was talking about science. That's great information to have, and as we've already mentioned, there are a number of careers that allow you to do just that. In addition, though, there are also a number of different assessments that you can take. When it comes to personality assessment, which is an equally important component to figuring out what you want to do for your career, we like to recommend the Clifton StrengthsFinder. StrengthsFinder is based on positive psychology and helps you identify what you do uniquely well. Even more importantly, though, it gives you language that you can use when you're interviewing for a position or you're talking about what you bring to an organization, and language that you can incorporate into your LinkedIn profile or other areas. When it comes to understanding your scientific interests or your research interests, the AAAS MyIDP assessment and the Imagine PhD assessments are great tools to use. If you think you're interested in a faculty career, but don't really know if you're interested in an R1 institution or you're interested in a smaller institution, a tool developed by the University of California, San Francisco called the Academic Career Readiness Assessment is a great tool to see what kinds of skills go into each of those options. So self-awareness and IDPs. There's a great quote I like from Yogi Berra. If you don't know where you're going, you might end up somewhere else. This is one of the reasons why you want to start thinking now about what you're interested in and what careers allow you to do those things. AAAS MyIDP is a free online tool that walks you through this process of self-discovery. Imagine PhD is very similar, but there's a broader focus on the humanities and social sciences. Both of these tools are great ways for you to go through the process of exploring your interests in science or research or whatever your field is. On the AAAS MyIDP assessments, they have you answer a number of different questions. What do you like doing in science? Is it conducting experiments? Is it writing up results? You get to self-rate these. Even if you have done this before, it's a great thing to go back to and reflect on. Your interests will change over time. At the end of the assessments, one of the great things about AAAS MyIDP is it actually will align your interests and skills with different careers and present to you a percentage match. Something we like to recommend is focusing more on the interest area than the skills area. If you're interested in something but you don't yet have the skills, you can learn it. If you have the skills but you're not interested in it, you don't want to do that for your career. The last assessment that AAAS MyIDP uses is a values assessment. This is one of those things that will be important when you're deciding where you want to do your work, and less so about what work you want to do. There are many positions that exist in all different sectors. Whether you want to work in a for-profit sector or if you're more called to working in academia, that's a values question. Again, the AAAS MyIDP will help you understand your values as well as your skills and interests. It also will give you a breakdown of why there was this match. If you click on the interests, you click on the percentages, it will show you a graph of how you rated this and how careers fit with that particular skill. Imagine PhD is very similar. You'll take some assessments. The assessments will give you a rating and then a match between how you rated and how industry professionals have rated that same career. Again, both of these tools will give you an opportunity to take what you're interested in and start identifying careers that will allow you to do those things. Journaling, assessments, these all help you figure out what it is that you're interested in doing. Some of them, like AAAS My IDP and Imagine PhD, also give you an idea of what careers may fit with that. But how do you get more information? So I mentioned the 2 assessments, but you also can do job posting analysis. Once you see a title like MSL, you can do searches for that and just go through and review. Do these things seem interesting to me? Does this sound like a career that I would enjoy doing? You can set up keyword searches to use your self-reflections and actually put those into things like LinkedIn or Indeed to do job searches. If at the end of your assessments, one of the things you found was that you really enjoyed communication or you really enjoyed data analysis, those are great words to use as keywords. When you use a keyword rather than a specific title, that will broaden the results and increase the likelihood that you're finding things that you may be interested in. You also can attend career seminars. I'm sure at your institutions there are alumni speakers that come back. In your professional societies or in your departments, frequently people have career talks. You can attend these and listen passively. Once you have already identified your interests, though, you start to hear things that people say. Oh, what they just talked about doing in their career, that was something I identified. You can talk with each other. You are with a cohort of students or postdocs who are all going through this at the same time. They may not be in your specific program, but they're there at your institution. Lots of people are in the process of trying to figure out what they want to do next. They're thinking through these same kinds of questions. The more you talk with each other, the more you can benefit from that collective wisdom. And then there are new tools, like ChatGPT or other generative AI. You can use ChatGPT. We're recommending this simply as a free version, but whatever generative AI tool you choose to use, these tools can help you identify not only options, but give you more information about why it's a good fit. An example prompt: provide me a list of good career matches for someone with a PhD and postdoctoral training in neuroscience, who likes to talk about science, write papers, and wants to make more than $100,000 a year. Importantly, adding to the prompt, explain why each career is a good fit. When you do these things, the tool actually provides quite a long list. As we see, medical science liaison is one of the ones at the top. This might be something I might consider. This feels pretty accurate about what I know about MSL positions. The prompts also, though, explain why this is a good fit for you, which is a critical piece of information for you to evaluate. Another example: provide me a list of good career matches for someone with a master's degree in engineering who likes designing biomedical devices and wants to live in Denver, Colorado. Explain why each career is a good fit. Here again, rather than salary, we're adding in a parameter that's important to us. We want to live in a specific location. As you're trying to figure out where you make your career transition, it's also important to think about where are you going to be happy. If you want to live in a location where there aren't any jobs in that particular area, you might need to reconsider what it is that you want to do or which factor is more important. Is it more important for you to remain in that location, or is it more important for you to move into that field? Again, simply entering this prompt into the generative AI gives you a list of different career options and an explanation about how that fits with the particular location. So up next, we're going to give you a chance to try this out. Our activity will involve both conducting some self-awareness activities as well as identifying some potential career matches.